On this episode of Roadkill Projects, the Rotsun finally gets reliable turbo V8 power. And it's fun. Okay, everybody, so you may be thinking we're having the Rotsun returned. I actually called out a commenter that commented on one of the, or a viewer that commented on one of the Rotsun episodes where I put this 6-liter diesel in this thing and complained about its gear ratios and how the motor's weird and everything. And he told me how to fix it. I forget your name. I really do. I should look it up, but you know who you are. You can go look on the video for the guy that I had a long conversation with him in the comments. But, I'm very thankful for, what he did, for reaching out and giving me an idea on how to actually fix the 6-liter diesel. But this thing doesn't feel as peppy anymore. I don't know why. The textures are broken on the motor still. I was hoping to have that fixed by the next time I use this car. But we're going to get rid of this motor. I'm sorry to do this. Everybody loved the motor in this car for some reason, the 6-liter diesel. But it's going to get better. Because we're putting a gasser back in this thing, and we're putting in a motor that is way better than this thing, way more horsepower, way more torque, hopefully. And just way more Rotsun, I think. So let's just show what I mean by this thing not feeling as peppy anymore. Sounds amazing. Love the sound of this motor. Now it is fast still. It just feels really sluggish now. Could be the gear ratio in it. Yeah, could be the gear ratio in it, but not happy with this motor anymore. So we're out here, Northern California. We're going to fix it. We're going to make this thing better. Cool thing about this car, though, you can actually hear the turbo like spool very slowly. Okay, you can't hear it. I don't know why. Might be my volumes. I don't know. But yeah, we're getting rid of the nougat, and we're putting in a better nougat. And I'm very excited about this because I've been waiting for a great V8 to come out for this game for a long, long time. Let me just see. It did download. Maybe it didn't update. But we got a 423 cubic inch V8 with a single turbo that we can put in this thing. Now, yeah, it's kind of got diesel fuel. Now, there's a few things we got to do. We got to change out the radiator. We got to change a couple things. Put a different trans in the thing. And now this thing is just cool. I'm excited to have this car rip finally. And it's going to sound good, which is even better. It won't spit flames, but it'll sound good, which goes far in my book. We're going to keep the front and bash bar. I think outside of that, yeah, we just got to do everything in here. It needs an adjustable rev limiter, though, because the stock rev limit isn't fun when we put the turbo in here. It's a stage 2 performance block, so we can hold some boost, which is an amazing thing. And you can't have a Rotsun without boost. I've learned that the hard way. It needs boost. But of course, we are going with a stage 1 variable turbo. We'll have tunable boost. Not putting a supercharger. Don't want one. I want a turbo in this car. Then of course, we got to put the turbo exhaust. Quiets down a little bit, and we're keeping a 6-speed in the thing. Because it just needs it. And I think we're good. Except for a few things. So first off, yeah, we got sports stuff in the front, but we got race coils. So I'm going to put race struts in the rear. Just to have the car even itself out a little bit. And control it a little bit more. Kind of hard to drive with the soft rear suspension, but the stiff front end. We'll keep the sway bars the same as they are. The diff, though. It's a limited slip, but I think we are going to put a 411 in this thing. I want to space out the gears, because right now it's like a 293 in it, which is extremely short gearing. But I think this will do. So the other thing that we got to change is the rev. We're going to rev this thing to 6,500. Give it a rev limiter that isn't just fucking slapping itself. We should be okay. Should be okay. Now let's just listen to this. Yes. Oh, it's rowdy. Ooh. It's way faster. This thing hauls ass now. It hauls now. And I'm not really making a lot of boost. Only like 9 pounds. We got room to go. Oh man. I'm so glad that this is a thing now. Yes. And the other thing about the car now, it's way more drivable. But we're going to take this thing out to a drag strip. And we're going to see what kind of quarter-mile time this thing can run. But we're not just doing that. We're also going to take it around a race course. Which I really want to see if this thing can actually do some decent times. So we'll be right back. Oh boy. It's fine. We're fine, everybody. Alright. We're gonna race the Rotsun against the wagon. Yes. First, of course, burnouts. "10-1." I think that's the fastest this car has ever gone. That's not bad. I think that's actually the fastest this car has ever gone. Oh, it's so much faster. It's so much better. I love it. This car is eventually cool. This car is cool again. It's just generally a cool car again, and I love it. Oh, stalled it. Oh man, this car gives me smiles. It's just good. Look at that. Look at that turbo. If you look, it's just turbo. That's all. It's amazing. This car is officially cool again. All right. I think I'm going to do one more pass, and then we'll head out through the course tomorrow. So let's do one more pass and see how well it does. Oop. Screwed that up. Well, oh well. Drag racing anyways. Oh, a 10-0. I was hoping for a 9. Well, there we go. 10:08. Wish it was a 9-second car. That would be sweet to have this thing in the 9s. If I took the seat out of it, probably, it'd be a 9-second car. But I'm not doing that. We're going to a racetrack. We're going to see what kind of times this thing can put down. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. Willingly burns the tires in 4th gear. This thing might not handle good at a track, but we're gonna find out. Alright, we are out here at a new track, actually. You thought I was gonna use the West Coast track. No. Decided to switch it up and come out to this new race course that I managed to find. And yeah, we're going to test out the Rotsun here for track use. And one thing I'm worried about is sidewall. I don't have a lot of it, but before we go, just going to check the tire pressures. See what they're at. Yeah, the front is at 30 psi. We're going to lower that to about 20, and then we're going to lower the rears to about 18. I feel like that'll be enough to where the car can curve without it just sliding on the tires. But let's see. It is actually gripping pretty well. Wow. Transmission isn't really good for this. It's definitely falling out of gears pretty easily. It's pretty fast around this course, I will give it that. I thought the car was going to be way more difficult to drive. And it's only a little bit of a handful. Transmission's probably saving it, and brakes aren't really that good. Yeah, the brakes are locking up. It might need pads. But, yeah. We're gonna try out a lap, and, yeah, I'm gonna try to run 2 laps in this car. So, just to get kind of a nice time and also kind of let everything warm up. The car is warmed up. The brakes are warmed up. And you know what? Just for this, let's do this. I know that there is this awesome map. Or this awesome... oh, where is it? Where is it? It tells you brake temperatures. Yeah, simple brake thermals. I'll bring this up and put it like right here. Just to show. Now the thing is, this thing has racing brakes, so they're not going to be very effective when they're cold. They're going to work a lot better when they're warm. So if I carry some more speed through these corners, and if I don't feel as scared with the suspension in this car, I might be able to carry some decent speed through the corners and have the brakes work pretty effectively. But time to tell. I'll get set up and I'll start recording when I'm about to do the first lap. Alright, we're about to start our first lap. Wow! This thing hauls down that first straight. Oh boy, don't slide. this car is sketchy. These brakes are like so temperamental. I'm trying to figure out like their limit. Oh man, my lap off camera was better. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna try to take it a little easier in these corners and push the car where I can. Faster than 2 minutes? No, it ain't gonna happen. I definitely ain't making that. That was too fast. Oh, man. This car is sketchy. God, I'm like actually sweating after that. This thing is a handful. Taking it easy around the course, yeah, you're going to have a nice time, but wow. This thing's a handful for sure. It needs work. It needs suspension that isn't as stiff. It needs to be way softer. This track is a little too bumpy for that, and it needs less harsh brake pads for sure. That definitely needs to happen. But God, that is... Wow, that's interesting that this car is just almost going a minute. I might have to... Gives me ideas for other things that I could do with single turbo versus twin turbos here. But yeah, there you go. The Rotsun is back and better than ever. And you will for sure be seeing this thing again on a future episode of Roadkill Projects.